Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has been one of the most hated games to release over the past few years, and everybody was seemingly disappointed with it. But now Warner Brothers Discovery is admitting that it had fallen short of their expectations. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. Now, I could have told this to you weeks ago, just judging by the social media backlash and the terrible scores on sites like Metacritic, that this game was going to be a massive failure for them. People absolutely have loved the Arkhamverse. I have loved the Arkhamverse for so many years now, and this is just not what we all wanted. And unfortunately for Warner Brothers Discovery, Rocksteady and them decided to team up with Sweet Baby Inc., one of the most hated entities in the gaming industry currently, and we knew that it was going to be a nightmare. When the first teasers and trailers released, everybody was disappointed. They were getting totally ratioed, but now we're actually getting confirmation that this game was a failure. It says Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has fallen short of our expectations, Warner Brothers Discovery has said. Speaking during a financial call, Warner Brothers Discovery Chief Financial Officer Gunnar Weinfels admitted Rocksteady's game hadn't done the business the company had hoped for since going on sale February 2nd, priced at $70, saying it had fallen short of our expectations. I mean, yeah, the fact that it was $70 was a problem. This game doesn't deserve to be more than $10. $5 on a normal day, 10 is generous. It was just a nightmare experience from start to finish. It says Warner Brothers Discovery failed to mention a sales figure for Rocksteady's game, but did say Suicide Squad's failure has set up the company's games business for a tough year-on-year comparison. So they were really hoping that this was going to be good because, of course, last year they released Hogwarts Legacy, which went on to become the best-selling game of 2023. So they were really hoping that they were going to have year-on-year, back-to-back wins. Last year, Hogwarts Legacy, this year, Suicide Squad, but I could have told you when they announced the Suicide Squad game and they admitted that they were putting it into the Arkhamverse that it was probably going to be a nightmare because of the fact that, yes, it is attached to the Arkhamverse and we did not need any more Arkhamverse games. And of course, this just like throws half of the character development from those games away. Of course, you're killing off fan favorite characters, and I get it, right? It's called Kill the Justice League. I'm fine with them killing off characters as long as they do it in a way that makes sense to the story, and it also is in a respectful way. Like, spoiler alert, look at Batman, the way that they killed him. It just felt so hateful, but not because of the characters, but because of the writers and their conscious decision to basically give Arkhamverse fans the middle finger and completely disappoint us. It also says this year's Suicide Squad, one of our key video game releases in 2024, has fallen short of our expectations since its release earlier in the quarter, setting our games business up for a tough year-over-year comp in Q1. I can't really say that I feel all that bad. They gave us a bad product and people didn't support it. It's just that simple. You need to make really good products and really good games. When a game is $70 for one experience, it has to be good. And unfortunately, a lot of companies have still not realized that. They think that they can still give us a half-assed experience that people just simply did not want and it will still sell, and they're quickly learning now that that is not the case, that people are not going to just blindly support you because, oh, last year you put out Hogwarts Legacy and it was the best game of the year. That doesn't mean that this game is the same by any means. Warner Brothers Discovery's comment perhaps doesn't come as much of a surprise given Suicide Squad's high-profile struggles. On Steam, the live service action game peaked with 13,459 concurrent players, a figure that has fallen dramatically since launch. I mean, it is averaging under 1,000 players. It's averaging 800 players a day, and of course, we do not have the numbers for the other platforms, but one would assume that those numbers are not much better Of course, we don't have them, so we cannot confirm that, but we can just judge by the user scores and the critic scores. Of course, critics gave it a 60. I don't particularly trust critic scores, but it is kind of on par with the user, and the user is sitting at a 3.7, which I definitely think is a bit generous. We have seen quite a few reviews go up recently of people that, you know, supported the narratives that were pushed with this game, support Sweet Baby, support the new Rocksteady that made this game, and they're of course trying to like almost positive review bomb it, even though of course there's not enough people doing it and it's not working, but they have sort of tried. But yeah, I mean, I can't really say that I'm surprised, right? I mean, another major issue with this title, as they say right here, is the fact that it is a live service game. There are so many live service games that have released over the past few years, and that I'm sure inevitably are going to release, and most of them have done very poorly. A lot of them have shut down their servers and are basically, you know, relics of the past at this point. And I don't think it's going to be long before that happens with Suicide Squad. We do know that they do have some DLC planned. Initially, they said they wanted to do, I believe it was 6 rounds of DLC. And we know that they've at least got 2 done because they've already, you know, spoiled and teased those 2. But we don't know what they're going to do after that. They could end up saying we're only going to release the 2 and we are going to just try to let this game fade into the void, and we are not going to keep pushing it. Maybe they already have all of that content done, or most of that content done, so they're going to, you know, barrel forward and try to release it. We won't know for quite a long time, but we do know that they do have at least some DLC, but it's a live service game, and it was bound to face issues. I mean, whenever people hear live service now, they instantly become upset. They instantly cringe, and they instantly are skeptical. And this is a major issue that companies are facing because so many of them are pumping out live service games. It's just not something that people are on board with. And if we had live service games where players were not, you know, worried about their progress being wiped and servers being shut down, if we had you know, games that were releasing that were genuinely good experiences that just happened to be live service, it would be different. But there's been so few of them that people just become instantly skeptical. It will be interesting to see if they come out and say anything else. If Rocksteady makes a statement, of course I do not think that Sweet Baby Inc. is going to make a statement, seeing as their Twitter has been locked for months at this point, and at the very top in their description they still have something like Alan Wake 2 in it saying that that's finally released, so they clearly are not very active on their locked Twitter account / X account. But yeah, we'll be interested to see if anybody else makes a statement on this, if any of the developers come out and cry about how mean people are and how they didn't support the game, but only time will tell. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.